Right guys, so I've just jumped in the MK4 Golf GTI. The car's actually getting mapped tomorrow. Today's the 19th of June 2022. What I'm going to do is I bought some headlight tints for the car. So I'm going to go ahead and try my best to fit them now. I've never done anything like this before. I've got some instructions with the pack. I just bought some headlight tints from eBay. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get them on the car and see how good they look. So let's go. I just want to show you something really quickly. See how clean my wheels are. I washed my car and I think I've driven it once since I washed it, and so it's been really clean. And then we've had a bit of rain, and because we keep getting this dust from the Sahara and all these dust storms, when it rains your car ends up looking a state. And I literally probably washed this about a week ago and it was completely mint, but now it's just covered in dust, and where it's rained as well, it's just spread everywhere and the droplets are all over the car. It's looking like a joke. But first thing first, what I'm going to have to do, especially because of how dirty the car is, I'm just going to have to clean the headlights. I did really want to remove them and do it with the headlights removed, but apparently it's more difficult. You need a vise and I'm not equipped with a vise, so I'm going to try and do it while they're on the car first. If it doesn't work out well, I'll have to take them off and figure something out. I've bought excess film, so should I make any mistakes, I've got some spare. I've got a spray bottle with some car shampoo in it, and I'm just going to clean these lights off for now, wipe them off with a microfiber cloth, and then just try and get the area around these lights nice and clean. So the next thing, once you've cleaned up the whole area, the next thing that needs to be done is you need to cut 2 strips of the tint for each headlight with a little bit of excess. You don't want too much because it will be too hard to stick to the light with loads of overhang. And I'm going to spray my soapy water solution on the light and try and stick it and try and squeegee it till the bubbles come out. Then I'll be getting my heat gun. Right, so I've done that side over there. I've left this side, reason being, anything I've learnt from doing that side, any mistakes that I've learned from, and any experience that I've got from doing that side, I'm going to do on this side now, just to show you guys what worked for me versus what was kind of recommended to do. Unfortunately with these lights there's a bit of difficulty, especially because there's such large sort of gaps around the light. Had you had a light that finishes really flush, it's so easy because you just stick your tint to the front of the light and run the knife around the edge of it. Here it's a bit more complicated. You've got to try and get it to fit into some of the other areas here, just so you everything you see is tinted rather than seeing the clear parts of the light around the edge. So it is a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. This light does have a stone chip in it, so I'm expecting to have an air bubble there that I can't get rid of, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a go. Now I've actually washed my whole car already the other day, so it's quite clean, but I'm just going to clean the surrounding areas and the light to get rid of any dirt and residue. I did some motorway driving, could have killed and splatted some bugs on the front, so just clean it all up, man. I'm gonna pop the bonnet as well and clean up all areas of the light, because I may need to try and stick the tint on the top of the light there, so I need to make sure that's nice and clean as well. Now there's a little list of things that you need, or I would recommend having. Obviously you need your extension and heat gun or whatever, some water or soap, whatever, to clean the headlight. Some people use some alcohol wipes to get rid of the grease on the light as well, if you have any grease. I've just tried my best to clean it the best I can. I've got a stool because you don't want to be kneeling down doing this, and obviously I've got my tints and my squeegee and my tint wrapping tools, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to go ahead now and get started with this light here. Now you want to cut your sheet of tint so that you're left with excess around it. I'll show you why in a minute. You can trim it down a little bit more on the top and bottom because there is a little bit too much excess there, but I'll show you why. What you need to do at this stage is you need to peel off a corner because one side of the tint's got a protective wrap and the other side's the adhesive side. Obviously you want the adhesive side to be stuck to the light, and the protective film you'll peel off after, because it will prevent your squeegee from scratching the tint. Now what I've done, if you can see, is I've just started with one corner and I've left the protective film on the back. All I do is peel it off as I stick it. You don't want to peel it all off, because the film's going to get stuck everywhere. You're going to end up with bubbles. You're going to end up peeling it back off the light. It's just a mess. So you just peel it off as you go along. All I'm going to do is slowly pull off that adhesive, slowly pull off the protective film on the back, leaving the adhesive side sticking to the light, and I'm just going to keep on squeegeeing it slowly, all the way till I get to the other side, pushing all the air bubbles out. Now you can see how far I've gone. I've done up to this line here. All I'm doing is literally peeling maybe about 5 to 10 mil of the backing off, and I'm literally squeegeeing it up until where the backing's pulled up to. Then I pull a little bit off, squeegee it some more, pull a little bit off, squeegee it some more. It's a very slow process. I would say take your time, but we're getting somewhere. No air bubbles so far, no trouble so far. Another thing is I'm doing it on a nice warm day, and I think it's helping with the flexibility of the tint. If you do this in the cold, you're probably going to have to use the heat gun all the time, whereas now doing it in the warmth, I'll have to do it towards the end, I think, and that'll be about it. So let's crack on, and hopefully I can get the rest of this finished now. Now every now and then creases will kind of want to form a little bit naturally. All you got to do is peel a little bit of the backing off, give it a gentle heat with the heat gun, and then squeegee it into place, and then you can keep on doing that, and that should prevent you from getting any bad creases in the tint as well. Right, so the tint has now covered the main sort of surface area of the light. The reason why I told you to leave these excess bits on the side is so you've got something to pull and stretch when you heat it. If you have your hand too close to the heat gun, it's going to get burnt. You need to pull and stretch this out and just try and tuck it in behind the light. Underneath's not so bad, it's not a problem. You can just heat that up and tuck it with a tool, and this side you need to pull and tuck, and on the top as well. Right, so all I've done now is tucked any excess tint that was down the bottom in, and I've heated up the sides and I've tucked that in. So all I can do now is run my knife around there, run my knife around here, and it will be all good. All I'm going to do at the top is I'm going to try, once I've cut around the sides, I'm going to try and just tint part of the top of the headlight, and then I think I'll be done on this side. Now, and a little bit at the bottom. Now just going to move this out of the way and then try and push the tint further back on the top. Don't be deceived by any of these white marks around the edge. That is just a protective film that I'm going to peel off in a minute. I'm just going to try and tuck this back to the part of the headlight before it steps back up again, and hopefully that'll be it. I'm just going to use the heat gun and stretch it and push it back, knock it back over, and hopefully end up with a good result there. Right, so I've managed to stretch the tint up this way and push the squeegee into this sort of crack here at the back of the headlight. I've used my heat gun. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to run my knife along the top of this second ledge up here and cut it and see how it comes out. Boom, done. Now I'll tell you what, I did have a slight dodgy cut up here, and you know all I did was I just freehand corrected it with my knife, and then used the knife to pick the bit of tint off, the bit of excess tint, and it's perfect. This, I'll tell you now, is probably 2 or 3 times better than the other light that I did, but it's turned out great, and I'll tell you what, I'm extremely happy with it, man. Things are looking really good here now. Let me just shut the bonnet and show you what it looks like with the bonnet closed. Right, job done. I think it looks really good actually, so I'm happy with this one. And considering how it was when I started out, the terrible job that I was doing, I think I've come a long way just in this one video. So I'm going to take my hat off to myself on this one. But if you decide to give it a go yourself, guys, good luck to you. It's not the worst. Just take a bit of time, be patient, and do it slow, and you'll be all good. Right guys, so that is the end of another video on the Spooling Up channel. Headlight tints on a Mark 4 Golf GTI, done, nice and easy. Just want to say a big thanks to any of you guys out there that have liked, commented, subscribed, shown me support and love on this channel. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you guys. It wouldn't be worth it. Also, I just want to say, if you want to give this job a go yourself, do not forget you can contact me in the YouTube comments, on Instagram or on Snapchat at @SPOOLINUP, and I'll do my best to get back to everybody like I do already. Some things slip through the net, it's not my fault, I do try my best. Apologies if you've commented on a video before and I haven't been able to reply, but yeah, I do try my best. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for coming to watch.